Now, the FA has announced it will stop illuminating Wembley Stadium's iconic arch in support of humanitarian social causes. This comes after the FA's chief executive, Mark Bullingham, admitted he recognised the hurt to the Jewish community caused by the decision to leave the arch unlit during the England men's friendly against Australia in the week after the Hamas terror attack on Israel. Joining me now, there's more to this story than meets the eye, by the way, which is glad I've got a sports journalist and broadcaster Aidan McGee joining me to delve down into this. Now, on the surface, you think, oh, it's a fairly old story, isn't it? But there is more to it than meets the eye, isn't there? Yeah,
exactly. I mean, look, it's all well and good using a part of your stadium to highlight certain humanitarian causes, but that works only up to a point, Dawn. When you find a cause that some people think you should do, but you don't like it yourself, it doesn't fit in, more importantly, with what your sponsors want you to do, then that's where you hit a snag. And I said to the FA years ago, and friends I had there, I'd said to friends of people I knew in my previous employment who had close links to the FA, if you go down the route of politics, if you allow business to lead you down that route, you will go up a ruinous path. And that's exactly what's happened. So the gist, or the crux of it, Dawn, is to do with sponsorship, it's to do with things like ESG, it's to do with Stonewall, it's to do with the money that lurks behind the FA. 32 commercial partners they have, it's all listed on their website. Among them, some very politically motivated companies, Budweiser, Disney, Barclays, etc. And so that's what's behind this. And what annoys football fans, people who love the game like yourself and myself, we don't like the game being hijacked for any reason. No. And these are not people who want to enhance the game. They don't want to promote the game. They don't want to see any good come of the game. All they're interested in really is the numbers, the reach, the engagement that football has. One division in one sport, I'm talking here about the Premier League, as you know well, has a reach, well, the portfolio value of rights is worth £9 billion worldwide. It's an extraordinary amount of money, and that's because it's international. And that's where these political causes want to go. They want to hijack the numbers. They're not really interested in the game. And that's why football fans will always say they want to see less politics in the game. And yes, we know that in certain areas of football, certain regions of the world, politics and sport are inextricably linked. But that's not a good thing. Who thinks sectarianism, for example, is a good thing in football? It's a terrible thing. And so you need to move away from it. Last thing you want to do is encourage it. Unfortunately, there's no one smart enough for the FA politically to understand where this was going to lead. They thought it was all going to be a cuddly kind of exercise once every couple of years or more frequently, as has happened in the last 2 or 3 years. But eventually it got them unstuck, and that's why they've had to make that decision this week. Yeah. So, of course, I mean, to play devil's advocate for them, they thought they were trying to do the right thing, but obviously it has led down this path. So do you think the fact that the Wembley Arch was not lit up in the colours of the Israel flag was more to do with them being worried about upsetting their sponsors, as it were? Yeah, I can't think of any other reason why you would do it. I mean, I'm not saying everyone at the FA only sees value in certain humanitarian causes as opposed to over and above others, because they all, I'm sure, have a conscience. In fact, I know they do, because I know plenty of people who work there. But, yes, I don't think they're concerned about social media. When they get a backlash on social media, that's when the sponsors get nervous, and that will have influenced their decision. There's no question about that, Dawn. And, of course, there is a lot of Middle Eastern money in our football at the moment. There is. Well, there's a lot of Jewish money as well. Yep. It always has been. West Ham are owned by Jewish Jewish owners. Crystal Palace, Swansea City in the Championship, Arsenal, of course, Tottenham. So it's been there for Chelsea, are owned by a Jewish man for 20 years. So there's lots of Jewish influence as well. So there's a balancing act. You know what? I think this is actually the right decision. Take it away. I mean, don't get me wrong. They'll still have the FA will still find ways of getting their political messages out there to satisfy for certain sponsors and any other entities that pour money into the organisation. Let's face it, the FA makes money more years than it doesn't. And there's a bill to play for Wembley still, because they built it in 2007. They still haven't quite paid it off, even though it cost about £600 or £700 million. And so they'll find ways. There'll be more minute silences. There'll be more livery attached to players' shirts. They'll prepare some statements for players to read out. So do us a favour, keep the sponsors happy and read that. We saw Jordan Henderson get involved in that, but as soon as it came to throwing the LGBT community under the bus for the sake of a multi-million-pound contract in Saudi, he went and did exactly that. So that's where, I mean, a friend of mine is a journalist. He came out as gay in about 2015, I think it was. But he put a message on Twitter last summer when Jordan Henderson did that, and he said, in reality, I'm not that surprised. We all know that when players say things about the LGBT community and other humanitarian causes or political causes, we're doing it because they're told to do it. And so everyone's alive to it. Jordan, let's be honest.